What's your worst secret that you are holding? Recovering gambling addict, and none of my friends know I have a problem. They haven't caught on that I bail every time they want to go anywhere near a casino. I stole a 50-cent mini globe when I was a kid and I told my parents I found it. I was obsessed with globes. My aunt's brother-in-law tried to kiss me when I was 16. My brother was 7 years old and stopped him. He doesn't remember. But I do. My boyfriend went on a business trip. His mom went to his house and cleaned. She changed the sheets on the bed and organized everything. She arranged everything beautifully, including the bottles of lube. We now have a running joke about how she is monitoring the levels and will restock as needed. He is 55. I am 48. She is 80. My greatest fear is becoming my father. He's selfish, manipulative, narcissistic, and can never admit when he's wrong. Every once in a while I see a flash of him in myself and it eats away at me for days. I lied about being chased by a turkey when I was around 4 years old on a school trip to a farm. And they thought it was hilarious. I am now in my 30s and my parents still bring up that story as a funny anecdote from my childhood. They still don't know that it never happened. Per my recruiter's instruction, I hid my mental health history to get into the military. 2 weeks in, I realized I had made a huge mistake in enlisting. And the military was definitely not for me. I told my staff sergeant about this so that I would be discharged. That I hate my best friend's partner. A person in my family murdered an old lady neighbor for her money. I've tried contacting city cops and county sheriff's office but nobody cares. I don't know for sure where the death happened. This person disowned me because they know I know. It's so sad they got away with it. As an adult, I feel that I wasted my life. I deliberately held myself back in life, out of fear of failure. Now I'm too old to reverse any of it, or reinvent myself for the last time. There's just no time. I am a gay male in my 30s. As a 14-16-year-old, I was raped multiple times by men in their 30s-40s. No one, except my husband, knows. I'm a sex addict now and working through it. It's all connected, I believe. I'm very afraid of other people, so I overcompensate by trying to be as interesting, funny as possible, but I can't tell how well it works. I smoke crack. 11 years ago, I let a wanted fugitive stay at my house for a week without knowing they were wanted. Whoops. My uncle sexually molested me when I was around 9 years old. I didn't realize that what he was doing was wrong until I was much older. He would sit me on his lap and rub me down there with his hand non-stop. He didn't even really do it in private. He just hid his hand motions really well. I vividly remember a bunch of us family members were sitting in an office-like room. And I was sitting on his lap behind the computer desk. And yeah, taking that secret to the grave. As he's a miserable old man now with a very unsuccessful life, and if this got out it would only bring his poor mother shame. I don't know how much of a secret it is. But I'm dealing with some of the strongest off-myself thoughts I've ever dealt with. I'm safe. They just won't stop. I've been sitting on this for years and it drives me crazy. I know who did the original "How do you become a mermaid" viral post on Yahoo Ask. It was a weird girl I went to school with who told everyone she burnt down a trailer park with a magical fireball. I'll never sell her out. Especially now as an adult who understands she was a kid with a lot of problems. But it's not easy to possess these dark knowledges and do nothing with them. It's stretched my moral compass to the limit. I will be sad but mostly relieved when my parents die. Complicated family history that gets swept under the rug because they are elderly and need my help. It's exhausting. I'm profoundly sad every day and I'm just going through daily routines pretending I'm fine. I was an accessory to the robbery of a convenience store I worked at. I wasn't there when my friend robbed the place. I was drunk and just kind of gave him a copy of the store key when he asked for it. He told me his plans and, in my suggestible state, still gave him the key. I regret it and feel super guilty as I still go to that store almost daily and I actually have good relationship with the owner. I'm an alcoholic. I've spent months on end without a second sober. Clean for 3 months now. I was so desperate for some father figure attention when I was young. I sought out a child sex offender. I'm gay but majority of my family is homophobic and the idea of them hating me is unbearable. Wish me luck kings and queens. The one that got away. When I use the scroll feature on Reddit mobile, sometimes I accidentally downvote people, but then I don't correct it. That I'm still trapped in the day that my wife died 3 years ago. We have 8 kids. And I move through life as if I am healing and happy. But every single day is a struggle to even get out of bed and do the smallest of tasks. I am on antidepressants and have been to therapy. But my children require so much that I have focused more on their healing. I'm frozen and don't know how to fix it. From the immediate people around me, it's the fact that I pull out my hair. I love it. I can't stop. I don't think I ever can. If I had the money for professional legit hitman, I'd use it for that reason. I wear my wife panties when she's at work. How much I've actually spent on my lizard's tanks. I farted and blamed our old Labrador, who does have a gas problem. My wife is suspicious but can't be 100% certain it was me as we were having a few other couples over for drinks. My now ex-partner is responsible for killing her best friend. That I often get sad because I missed out on having a young, wild, and free spree in my teens and 20s. I never snuck out, did something really stupid at a party, went on a spring break trip, went to prom, had spontaneous, off-the-wall fun. I know this is overplayed in movies, TV, etc., but it still makes me sad and bitter when I think about it. I'm only 33 years old, but it makes me bitter to think I just wasted my youth on work, school, chores, my family, etc. My mother has schizophrenia since 1990. She's doing somewhat better nowadays. That was the good part. The bad part is that, post-pandemic, I am slowly but surely displaying symptoms of schizophrenia. My sister had her first child at 26 weeks. The baby Emily had a bleed on the brain and at the time the doctor said it's very likely she'll be disabled. Driving my mom home from the hospital after a visit a few weeks later, she said, "I hope Emily dies. She's going to ruin your sister's life." I never told my sister as it would break her heart and their relationship, but I don't talk to that cunt anymore. There are additional reasons, but that's a big one. And my sister resents me for my non-existent relationship with our mother. Probably that I'm severely depressed and have been for years. Also, that the depression has been getting bad enough recently that I've begun to consider possible in-patient treatment. My major secret is that I am not doing well at all psychologically. Yet my social circle has no clue, or at least I've never disclosed any of this. They may, however, have an inkling that I may have issues, but they've never said anything. In Japan, heart surgeon. Number 1. Steady hand. One day, Yakuza boss need new heart. I do operation. But, mistake Yakuza boss die. Yakuza very mad. I hide in fishing boat. Come to America. No English. No food. No money. My big secret: I kill Yakuza boss on purpose. I good surgeon. The best. If I have to fart in a store, I'll go by other men so nobody thinks that came out of me. Yuck.